Live. Welcome, my friends.
Woo, we're live.
Why does this happen every time?
I don't know. I like that you're wearing pink and I'm wearing orange. We're like
Oh,
on brand.
wow. We're like throwing it back. Wow.
No, look at us.
Is this oh, there are people here, right? Okay. I was like, did we accidentally make it private again? Wouldn't put it past us.
That does happen sometimes.
It do be like that sometimes.
Hello.
Nice, Michelle. Hello. Welcome. There's a bowl of goldfish sitting next to me right now.
I have a stack of books that I have not opened yet.
Oh, wow. Book mail. Oh, hi, guys.
Hello.
Wow. You guys all just, wow. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Meg, Anna, Raquel, Ashley, Vanessa, Caroline, Shannon, Haley's here. Wow. Thank you.
Everybody.
I can read.
Yeah, every single one of those comments is at 7:31. Look at you all. Clock it in.
Actually, it's
Good job.
8:31.
Actually, only 7:31.
Happy Saturday, Haley. Are you having coffee? What time is it there right now? I always forget with the time difference.
Oh, yeah. I forget she's in the morning. Thanks for always being here with us anyway.
Yeah, you're the best.
Yeah, you are the best.
Oh, yeah. Meg's with me. Meg's in Ohio with me. I'm still like 4 hours away, but we're together.
In spirit. In
Team 7:30.
Yeah, Team 7:30.
Yeah, Raquel's with me too. Hey, Vanessa's with me too.
Dang,
look at all my Team 8:30. We won.
I was 8:30 last week when I was in New York.
Yeah, we were in the same time zone for like a couple days.
We didn't do any work. It didn't benefit us at all, but
no, didn't get to see you. You were still like 12 hours from me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's it's a 12-hour time difference. Okay.
Oh, so it's 8:30 for her too. What the heck?
Kids are watching Bluey. Yeah.
8:30.
8:30. Oh, we got a Pacific time.
Ooh.
Kelsey's over there in Team 5:30.
40% of Quicksilver. Oof. You're further than I am.
Wow.
I don't know what I am, but I'm not that far.
Yes, you are.
I haven't read any this week, so.
Yeah, but you still are, I think. Is that right? I'm at 57% now.
Ooh, girl, you so far. I'm at 38. So I am basically that far.
So, but I commend you for stopping Quicksilver to come here and hang out with us because I did not want to stop reading this week.
Isn't it fun being a rereader? Or excuse me, a first-time reader?
Yes, being a rereader is really I am actually really enjoying being a first-time reader, but I keep being so tempted to just go back to the beginning of the book and listen to my dedicated chapters again. Like I could just go listen to chapters 1 through 22.
Like those are free to read again?
Yeah.
So that you're still in the book? Yeah, that makes sense.
By the time we finish it, I will have read it twice.
Nice. I'd say you just count it twice on Goodreads. It'll be fine.
Yeah, why not? Oh, I love that you guys are loving The Night and the Moth. I'm about to start that one.
I'm trying to finish all my other bajillion books.
You do have a bajillion books.
I think I'm in 5, 6 right now.
6? But you're in the middle of 6 books? Or you just have 6 you need to read?
I have 6 I need to read for my job. Is this my job? Also, I have arcs.
It's summer now. That's your job.
That's true. I have arcs, which are just its own thing, but I do feel the need to read those for this author because I love her so much. So,
Ooh, Meg said it's just as good as One Dark Window. Ooh.
I heard there's gargoyles, and so I got really excited. That's the only word from that book I've heard was gargoyles.
I have not heard that. That made me even more excited.
I hope it's true. That's the only thing I know.
We're gonna get to the book at the end of the book, and Laura will be like, "What the heck?"
One time, in
1 star.
But I do love gargoyles. Okay, there are.
Yes. It's confirmed. Okay, great. Okay, that makes me
I love gargoyles so much.
I don't know anything about it. I just keep seeing like really cool fan art, and it's making me very excited to read it. That's so fun. Okay, well, I guess we're here to talk about books, so we could do that.
Oh yeah, I guess that's an option.
I guess.
Let's do it.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it. Welcome back to our live monthly reads event. We're coming to you live exclusively for Patreon to chat about books we read last month. We love yapping about books with all of you. So make sure you drop your thoughts in the chat and we will help pile your never ending TBR and you give us Recs to pile on ours.
It's already happening.
Yeah, that's true.
Already,
Literally
yeah.
in the comments.
It's happening live right now. So, of course, we are here to talk about all the books that we read in May. So this includes our overall thoughts, ratings, recommendations. But as always, we will keep things spoiler free if you have not read these books. And as Lauren mentioned, this is live for Patreon members only, and then it'll be available publicly afterward, which I guess if you are watching this when it's publicly available, then you already know that. But welcome. So if you are watching the replay and you'd like to join the chat live, you have a month to do that before the next one.
Yes. And speaking of our Patreon, becoming a member of our Patreon community comes with a ton of other fun perks, including early ad-free access to our podcast episodes. The Between Pages and Friends podcast is hosted by your favorite book besties, aka us, and our book husbands, John and Kyle. Well, they're our real husbands too, but that's fine. Every week, that's what it says. Every week we release a new episode talking through your favorite fantasy series together. Right now, we are reading through I guess we're reading through the Fae and Alchemy series.
Yeah,
because we
we
just finished
the
the
Empyrean
Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. This is kind of like our week off time
Yeah.
that we will begin the Fae and Alchemy series on the 18th, June 18th.
Yeah, with Quicksilver.
Whoop, whoop. Product placement.
Words are how
live.
Strong start. We're live. It's fine. Since speaking of the podcast though, since we do talk about the podcast books for hours and hours over on the podcast, these monthly read videos are to share everything else we read throughout the month. So let's get into it. Lauren, how many books did you read this month?
I read 9 books this month.
Ooh, you beat me. I read 8.
Whew.
Yep.
It was the literal like school got out and I read like 4 books in the same week. It was like just like I got one week of summer in there and knocked some out.
I know July you're gonna like triple whatever I read.
I know. Usually July I'm in like the 20s. I don't want to say that and then everyone expects something from me, but so far the last couple of years, July has been in like 20, 25, somewhere in there with books. So we'll see what happens.
Yes. Yeah. So in the comments, tell us how many books you read this month, if you know that off the top of your head. I always have to go and check my Goodreads because I never have any idea how many books I read.
I know you even wrote it in the script this month that I read 9 and I was like, oh, did I?
Look at me go.
Shout out to me.
This was the month that I felt like I took a huge break from reading because I was in like a huge reading rut. So I was really shocked that I still read 8, but some of them were pretty short.
Yeah, you finished Onyx. I don't know something to spell. Oh,
Garth. Oh,
you silly. Yeah, you finished Onyx Storm and like just checked out for like a week.
I did. I was like, I don't know what to do with my life. The second time I read it, it still put me in a reading rut.
I know.
Crazy.
I didn't have that either time. I think I just don't usually experience that. Maybe. I don't know.
It doesn't happen to me often, but if it does, it's usually after a fantasy book. And the last time was with Crescent City 3, although that one I tried to binge read and that was very difficult for my little brain.
Yeah, you read Crescent City 3 in like 4 days.
And I was sick. I probably would have read it faster, but I was sick. I was in like a haze of illness, I think is what I called it.
It's funny. Okay, well, the first books that we read was the podcast book, which was Onyx Storm. Speaking of, we both finished it finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pink on that cute little script that we wrote out for us.
So sorry.
So we wouldn't have this issue.
I'm not sticking to the script.
It's so loosely based anyway. But it is. It's an attempt that we don't talk on top of each other.
I
but
know,
instead
and
we're just, or that we're just staring at each other like what just happened.
I know. Well, see what happened. What had happened was I got distracted because
What
Meg
happened?
started talking about Emily Henry, and so I was looking at the comments. And I wasn't looking at the script. She said she's officially an Emily Henry convert, and I'm so
Oh,
proud.
that's exciting.
Oh, and Ashley read a bunch of Emily Henry books too. Oh, you guys, this is making me so proud. Okay, so I got lost in Lauren's eyes. It's known to happen from time to time.
It's you from college. It was the other way around with the little pictures we'd send. Oh, it's funny.
I forgot about that.
Good
Oh
times.
man. Okay. So yeah, so I rated Onyx Storm 5 stars. This was an easy
No
5
way.
stars for me. I loved it. It was so great. It put me in a reading rut,
It
clearly.
did do that.
This is one of my all-time favorite books. I just had so much fun reading it with the boys on the podcast and then talking about it with Fantasy Fangirls. And that episode came out this week, and that was all just so fun. It made it like even more fun to read the second time around, but I loved it.
Yeah. I also gave it 5 stars. The reread really helped me with this book because I was trying to read Onyx Storm the first time while reading the beginning of the Empyrean series for the podcast. So, like, just getting to focus on Onyx Storm was very helpful, surprisingly. Only read one book of the series at a time. Just a suggestion.
Pro tip. You heard it here first.
Pro tip.
We say after we tandem read 2 books on the podcast.
Yeah, but it wasn't like this. I don't know.
It was
Anyways,
chronological.
it
Yeah,
made
that's different.
sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, but reading it with the husbands, with my friends, with Fantasy Fangirls, like getting to have all those conversations and things, it was super fun and it was really good. So if you want to hear all of our thoughts, go listen to the hours and hours and hours we talk about it on the podcast. So
yeah.
yeah.
All right. I'm up next because I'm paying attention now. My first book that I read this month outside of the podcast was Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage.
Ooh, and she got that book.
I got the book and it's signed. I got it signed, didn't I? Yes, I did. Whoop.
Cute.
This was so cute. This is the 4th and final book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and we read Done and Dusted together as a book club a few months ago, so that was super fun. Lila Sage came to Cincinnati, and so that was in May, right?
It was like right after we read it as a book club.
Or it was April.
Yeah.
It was in April. Yeah. So it was in April, and I was like, book signing, so hyped. And then I like kind of forgot because I went to the book signing and I did the thing, and then I forgot I still needed to read the book. So I read it in
Checked
May.
it off your list.
Yeah, I did. But it was so cute. This was like such a sweet way to close out the series. I think Ada and Wes's story is still my favorite of the series, but I love a good second chance romance. That's what this one is. And the author's notes in Lila's books are always so sweet. They always make me love her books even more. So I'm excited to read whatever she comes up with next. She gave like a little teaser almost for it at the signing that I went to. She's already working on her next series. So I'm excited to read that. It's very cute. Oh, this is not the one with the risque picture, though, Krista.
We are both still reading that one, though.
We are.
We're both reading that.
I have it right here. I'll talk about it later.
Oh, did you finish it?
No, I'm really close, though. I'm getting
close
to the end of the book.
85%.
I'm at least there. Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, fun time. The first book I read this month was The Singles Table by Sarah Desai. I read the first 2 in this series last month, and I had ended the month saying like it's in my Libby, and I'm gonna be reading it right away, and I literally did in like 3 days. So then whenever I got on the script, I was like, I read that this month. Like I had to go back. I did. Oh my god, I know it does, because like school happened and got out, and I just went on this whole trip, and like so much has happened in a month. So I had to go back and look at my notes even about the book to make sure I was like not confusing the 3. But all that to say, I still only gave it 3 stars. None of this series to me was like life-changing in any way whatsoever, but they're really cute rom-com style palate cleanser vibe.
Nice.
Like you know where it's kind of going the whole time, and I really enjoy that while partnering it with like Onyx Storm or some other wild something going on that I know what's going to happen and nothing's going to surprise me. So it's just feel good energy, good vibes the whole time. So it's a good series altogether.
Cute. I like it. Well, you influenced my next read. This
Yeah, I
happens from
did.
time to time with the monthly read videos because in our last monthly reads, Lauren went off about The Never List by Jade Presley. And she was like, this is so freaking cute. It's a fantasy. Why choose? And she was telling us all about it. And so, of course, I had to read it after she
You're
described it in our
such a good
live
friend.
event.
You're
I was
such a
like,
good friend.
stay less. Fantasy Why Choose absolutely sign me up. And it did not disappoint. This was so cute. It was so easy to listen to. I also was not expecting it to be a series. I don't know why I thought it was a standalone, but I was
Hmm.
surprised by the ending because I was like, oh, I was expecting there to be like some finality at the end. And then I was like, oh, wait, there's going to be more. So I'm very excited for book 2. Um, Loved the why choose aspect of it. So I'm excited for more of that in book 2 as well.
Who
But I
wouldn't be?
really, who wouldn't be? I really like the characters too. It's always kind of fun in books like that where there's like so many different main characters, like having um I think it can be difficult sometimes for their characters to come across like strongly enough without being like, this is my character, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so I just feel like she did it so well. It was just so good. It's a great
Yeah.
book, Rec. Add it to your TBR. So
Yes.
cute.
I'm so glad you loved it.
I did.
I love it so much. Okay, sorry, I just got a text from my sister. She's reading Quicksilver and just said the spice in Quicksilver is on another level, like 10 fire
Ooh.
emojis. We'll just go ahead and do not disturb on that right now.
Oh,
Come
Ashley
back
just
to that
asked.
later.
Ashley just asked if The Never List is a good book to read if you've never read a Why Choose before. I feel like it is.
I feel like while yes, it is a why choose, it is still very tame,
Yeah.
if
Like
that
it's
makes
sort of an
sense.
introduction.
Yeah.
And I feel like there will be more of that aspect in the second book.
At least I hope so.
I hope so. A girl can dream.
Yeah, because the first why choose I read was like we're yep, we're
Why
just
choose? Yeah, just
we're
do all
I
of it.
do all of the things.
Do
I
all-
choose anything. And yeah, and this one it was very like step progression to a why choose kind of feeling. So
Nikki the
I,
Never
I
King
like
was your first Why Choose?
it.
I read that one a few months ago.
I think
That
mine
is
was
an
I
interesting
think
introduction to the
I think
genre.
mine was either pucking around or lilac. Or
Oh,
was
I
one
forgot
of
you read
those.
Lilac. I think I read
Yeah.
Lilac first.
I think I did too. I don't know. I feel like maybe I did read Pucking Around. I don't remember, but it was
I
one of
feel like I
those,
made
and
you
both of
read
those
both of
are
those, but I don't. I
yeah,
wasn't a big fan of Lilac, but I love Pucking Around is like my favorite Why Choose ever,
yeah,
and I don't know that
it's
anything
super
will
good.
ever top it. So maybe don't start with that one. Maybe start with something else.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
do think the Never List would be a great one to start with.
Yeah, it is a good
Yeah,
one.
it's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry,
Okay,
go
I'm
on.
glad you loved it. Okay, the next book I read was Sweet Obsession by Katie Robert. Katie Robert, this is the Dark Olympus series. This is book number 8, which is wild to think that I
That
have
is
read
crazy. I'm
8
a little
of this
behind.
book.
Yeah.
That this is one of the first series that Con and I read together. Like way back
Yeah.
in I don't know, 2020,
Cute
2021
bonding
when
experience.
when we started reading books together. The first one is by far my favorite. I
Me
think it's just like a
too.
I
The
think it's
first
just like
and
a
the third I
core
love.
memory for me. But I also think because it was when I was first getting into reading as an adult and the types of book that I read as an adult, it was one of my very
Mhm.
first like that. And it is more on the darker side. So I think there's some of the like foundational stuff with the book that is set up for other reads that I have, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Instead of like coming to it later, and maybe I would come back to it now and be like, oh, maybe it is just like a, 4 stars, 3 star. But right now it's like, oh, that is a 5 stars all the way. Love that one. um, but the series is really good. I really love the overarching story that goes on.
Yes,
I
me
really
too.
love like mythology and those types of stories, even since like actually learning about it in school. Um, and then just like having the twist of that with the modern world that is our world and how it like all connects and stuff. I think she just does it so well.
Mhm.
And I really, really enjoy like all of that aspect to it and like the politicalness and all the things.
Great vibes.
This yes, all around. This
Yeah.
book specifically is a male romance, and that is not my typical read. And just one of the audiobook narrators was just like really not it for me.
Mm.
So this specific story didn't wildly progress anything else. It's pretty isolated to these two dudes. So I only gave it 3 stars. I feel like I've had some in the series that are like wildly 5 stars, some 4s, some 3s,
Yeah.
and it just kind of fluctuates. But I just love the series so much, and it holds such a space for me. Also, I think the 4th book in this series was my very first audiobook ever. So
Really?
like that. Yeah, remember? And you were like, "That's the one you're gonna start with," and I was like, "I don't know. It's the next on my list." Like,
Well, why not?
The one where they're at the party, like the house party.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like that one.
I did too.
Was that what was her name?
Uh-huh.
I almost said Persephone. It's not Persephone. That's the
No,
first one.
it's an H.
Um, I'm like picturing the character in my mind, and I can't think of her name. Sorry, not really related.
Yeah.
We can go on, but
I'm seeing if I can Google it really quick. I said H. It's probably not. Oh yeah, no, it's Cassandra and Apollo.
yeah,
Not an H at all.
No. Hera
My
is
bad.
one of the characters. There, we haven't had a book
Yeah,
about Hera yet, have we? Because that's one
the
that I really
next
want.
one.
Oh yes, okay. I've been really
I
looking
know,
forward
I'm
to
so
that.
excited. I think it comes out in December, but she like puts them out
Mm.
so fast, and I really
Yeah,
enjoy them. And so this one I didn't even know came out, and I texted you. I was
yeah.
like, Dark Olympus 6 or 8 came out. Like, how did we miss this? And I read
I
it
didn't even read
immediately.
7 yet. Yeah,
I read it
I'm so
immediately.
behind.
You didn't read 7? Con, you
No, I
gotta
don't
catch
think
up.
so.
Ugh, I love this
I
series.
will.
I think it's good. And so I was in the middle of reading it, and it was time to do like our monthly book recommendations. So I just recommended the whole series. That was my
Nice.
my book rec to everybody
all of
this
them.
month. So just read everything. I really enjoy it. So
Oh, I love that. So yeah, I need to catch up. I think I am now. I don't remember the names of all of them now. I think I read one with you last fall,
I think you
and then
read
I
the
missed
book,
one
but
in
I don't
between.
think you read a novella.
Maybe that's
Maybe
what it was.
because there are like this is 8 books, but there's been 2 or
Yeah,
3
I read the
novellas as
Minotaur
well.
one. I think was my last one that I read.
Yeah, so that's the last book.
Oh,
Because this takes over with Icarus. Because like it ends
oh
right there on the dock or whatever.
yeah.
This like starts immediately in that moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I'm not behind.
Yeah,
As
so you're not
behind as
behind. Yeah.
I. Okay. Oh, Elizabeth.
I missed it.
It's
Oh,
one of the-
that's so funny that you say that, Elizabeth, because I got on this. Connor was already sitting here in the recording space, and I joined like 5 minutes till we record. And Connor's head is down. She goes, "Oh, sorry, I was just reading the epilogue to Butcher and Blackbird, like literally like 30 minutes ago."
minutes before we started.
Oh, Connor.
And I didn't finish it, but I'm on page 337. I read through the dragon scene. That's what I told Lauren.
Mhm. Oh my gosh.
That's what I read right before I started this live event with you.
She's
Really
catching
setting
up.
the tone. It's fine. It'll happen eventually. So
It's because you have to physically read it. If it was in the audiobook, if it was in
oh
digital
yeah,
form, it would have
I
been
would
done
have.
already.
It would have been done when we initially read the book. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It's because it's not on audio.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I'm like reading it in their voices. Like I can still hear it in my head. It's cute.
I know, me too. His accent is
I
the
love the
best.
narrators. It is the best. Ugh. Okay,
He's
so
the best accent of all 3 books.
oh really? I
Yeah,
haven't started the
hardcore.
audio for the next 2 yet, but I know we'll talk
Mhm.
about that later. So
Yeah.
okay. So Onyx Storm once again sent me into this major reading rut. So I didn't read anything. I feel like it was like 2 weeks after we finished Onyx
Yeah.
Storm that I didn't read anything really. But I did start listening to Amy Poehler's new podcast called Good Hang. And I loved it so much. I ended up listening to her book after binging like most of her episodes. So I listened to Yes Please by Amy Poehler because I was just in this like I was having this Amy Poehler moment. Her podcast is amazing.
As
You
you
should
should.
definitely listen to it. I this is me recommending the podcast over her book, but because I
It's
found the
'cause it's
podcast.
current.
Yes, I know the book was from like 2014.
Yeah.
But because I found the podcast and like binged all the episodes, I was like, I just want more. And this book has been on my TBR forever. And you read this one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I listened to the book. It was cute, but it was like, I mean, it was written like a decade ago. So again, I'm like, The podcast, though, you've got to listen to it, especially if you love Amy Poehler or SNL or Parks and Rec. The book
Mhm.
and the podcast both are like
Yeah.
really fun things to listen to because they'll give you like so much insight and behind the scenes. And the audiobook for Yes Please is kind of amazing because she brings in like all these other people to read with her, like
And they like
Seth
read their
Meyers and
lines or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, it's so good. So then she has a lot of these people guest on her podcast, and it's hilarious and it's so good. And if you love Parks and Rec, you have to watch, like physically watch it on Spotify or YouTube. She just did an episode called Philly Justice, and it's about the fake show that the actors of Parks and Rec made up while they were recording while they were filming Parks and Rec. They like made up a fake TV show and they filmed a trailer for it, and no one had ever seen it until this episode. They like aired it
Oh,
on the
that's so
episode.
fun.
It's so good. So anyway, I'm like talking about the podcast more than I'm talking about her book, but the book is cute too. This is just like all I did for 2 weeks and I loved it
Yeah.
so much. And now I'm like every week when the new episode comes out, I'm listening to it. So it's great. It's so cute.
What did you rate the book?
Oh, I rated it 4 stars. Podcast though, 5 stars.
Yeah. I went on a whole like celebrity memoir
Yeah.
like run of just one after the other last summer, sometime last
Mhm.
year, and this was one of them.
Yeah.
I just remember specifically her parents. Like it wasn't just like the
Oh,
actors
yeah.
and stuff, but like her mom and dad read their lines too, and I thought that was so cute.
It was cute with their little Boston accents.
Yeah. Well, and then she'd be like, and then something, this SNL video. So I would like stop and go look up the SNL video and like I watched
Yeah.
it. So then I knew what she was talking about. It was fun.
So
It was
cute.
good. Okay. The next one I read is The Gate of the Feral Gods by Matt Dinniman. This is Dungeon Crawler 4. Dungeon Crawler Carl 4. Okay. I love this series. And I've been saying that I'm only reading it for Kyle, but like at this point, I'm fully invested.
That's good.
I'm totally here for it. I've probably been like that for a long time, and I kept just saying it was for Kyle, but
Yeah,
I
I
was
couldn't
lying
tell
to
how much you were
myself.
actually like enjoying it. But I'm glad to know that this is for
Yeah.
you too.
This one, yeah, it's such a good series. It's so well thought out, from like even the silly things at the beginning that are like somehow making sense now that I don't know. And it is by far leaps and bounds more than any other book I have ever heard of, no matter what other audiobook narrator there was. This is the best audiobook I have ever heard in my life, and every single one blows me away every single time. And then to find out that it's all just one dude doing all of it. Like he is doing every voice and every single thing. Like it is just wild. And then like it's just so good. Okay, so then we find out like for Kyle's birthday, I bought him the first book so that he could like have it
Okay.
on his shelf. And there in each book is apparently like a little bonus chapter. And so I was playing a video game on the computer that Kyle got. He wanted me to try it. And he pulled out the book while he was sitting there. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm going to read the bonus chapter. And it's like, well, then you better read it to me too. You have to read it out loud. Like, so I know what's happening. And so he like audio narrated me this bonus chapter. And so now we own the 4 books that we have read, and he has read them out loud to me, every single one, which is just
I
a fun
love
little
that.
side thing. But even Kyle is like, these are the kind of bonus chapters you need. Like you meet these characters in the very first one, and like a running thing throughout it is all the NPCs, like non-playable characters, starting to realize that they are NPCs and that they're not like actual people. And so you meet these people in book 1, and the audio or the bonus chapters is about their story. So it's like
Oh my
all
gosh.
this like parallel to what is happening side story. And so like while they're only in level 6 or wherever they're at, these people are already in level 9. So it's like they're doing stuff that we know will affect the main story, and it's just like all the way it's connecting, and it's just like our minds are blowing, and it's just
That's so
it's just
fun.
so good. And we are both here for it and having a ton of fun. Everybody should read this series. It's so good. I'm just like a big fan. When you start it, especially if this is not like your normal vibes of like a book, you're gonna be like, WTF am I reading? But I promise it is really good. And there's like not even like a romancy aspect to it. Like it is not my typical read, that I am vibing. And someone asked what my favorite character is, and if anyone says it's not Princess Donut, they are a liar. Because she is just the best. Um, anyways, that's my rant. I'm just
That's
excited about the series.
amazing.
So
That makes me so happy. I wanna read it too.
it's so good, and I really want John to read it so freaking bad. I just
I'm sure
really,
he would
really
love
think he
it.
would love it. If he
Yeah.
just, like I don't know, I feel like it's one of those things that I've said it twice to him now, and so now that I've said it, he's not gonna do it because that's how my husband is. If I say it too many
Well,
times, he'll
I
just not
know.
do it.
He's also not an audiobook person, like, he just doesn't listen to
Oh,
audiobooks, and he just generally doesn't, like
yeah.
it's not part of his, routine or anything, but I do feel like with what you've said about it, I feel like he would love the audio if he listened to it.
Yeah. Well, because like, the physical book, like, looking at it, everything is in there, and it makes sense, I guess,
Mhm.
but, like, the there's, like, system AI that's kinda, like, over the game that is being played, and it has its own little voice, and there's, like, this little, like, sound that happens, like, it's, like, clicking in kind of thing, and, like, I don't know, it's just, like, all the things they add in that if I read it, I'd probably enjoy it, but, like, I am, like, immersed. I am in in the story. Like, oh, it's just so good. So everybody go read it. I'm so invested. So the goal is to read one a month. Kyle gets his Audible credits, and we've been using one a month for that. That's been like his thing.
Nice.
So we'll get the next one
Aw,
next month. He's like
that's
dying
so
to read
fun.
it, and he's reading other books for the podcast right now, and he's like dying inside because all he wants to do is read Dungeon Crawler Carl. So it's
Oh my
fine.
gosh.
He'll survive.
Oh, wow.
So good.
Oh,
Okay.
that's so fun. Okay, so my next book from this month that I feel like helped get me out of my reading rut a little bit
Good.
was One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. So if you've read this is her books are standalones, but if you've read her first book, Every Summer After, this is Charlie's story. So like the main character in the MMC in Every Summer After, his brother is Charlie, and this is Charlie's book. So I was a little worried that I wouldn't like this one at first. I think because I was still trying to get out of the reading rut and I was listening to the audiobook and she was just like really talking about her grandma a lot at the beginning of the book. And I was just like, okay,
Sure, grandma.
we're at the lake with Nana. Sure, okay. I think I really was just like struggling so hard to get over the initial like hurdle of getting into a new book. But then once I got into the story, I'm so obsessed with this book. The story and the characters were everything I wanted it to be and more. Like for Charlie, because you know him from book one a little bit, but just as a standalone, it's fantastic. I feel like everything about this book felt really unique and like so special. And I loved it all. So I may not shut up about this one for a long time, but I really loved it.
Well, that's good though that I'm glad it, like, also was able to get you out of the little
Oh,
reading rut and everything.
yes.
I love that
I
for you.
I really loved it.
I don't think I've ever read any Carly Fortune.
It's so cute.
Okay.
You should do it. She only
I'll
has a
bump her up the
few,
list.
but she's on the same rotation as Emily Henry. So like Emily Henry will usually come out with a book in like April and then Carly Fortune's in May. They're like a
Mm.
couple weeks apart, but they keep coming out with like one new book every year. And they're all like hers are all very summery. Like they're a really good like summer romance kind of book.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, did you see
Haley
what's
asked
posted?
Yeah, Haley asked how I would rate One Golden Summer versus This Summer Will Be Different. Um Oh, and Tracy just read Meet Me at the Lake. Oh, I don't know. Honestly, I feel
Ooh.
like they're all so close in my head, like in my rankings. You know, I'm bad at ranking things anyway. Um, and Michelle read it too. Oh my gosh, you guys. I I think Meet Me at the Lake might still be my favorite of all of her books. But
I remember last year we did like a, favorite book, favorite whatever, prettiest cover, and that was your one that you picked as
oh
like
yeah,
the
that's
most
true. It
pretty
does have a
cover
really pretty
of
cover.
all the books you read. That's the
Oh,
only time I remember being like, "Oh, I need to read Carly Fortune," and then it just still never happened. And here we are again.
I think right now I would say One Golden Summer is above This Summer Will Be Different for me, but I think that's just because I read it more recently. I think I would have a similar problem with Carly Fortune books as I do with Emily Henry, where it's just like whichever one I'm reading in the moment is my favorite.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I really, really wanted to love this next book because I really liked the first book, but I
Oh
just really
no.
didn't. I
Oh
know. I feel
no.
bad. So, the next book I read was My Return to the Walter Boys by Ali Novak. This is the Walter Boys book 2. I really wanted to read the first book for book club because the show had come out and I wanted to watch the show. And so if it's for book club, then I definitely get to read it. Like, but none of y'all picked it. So instead I read it by myself. I read it by myself like the next month or whatever. And I really liked the book and I really loved the show. It kind of gives the show gives like a Hallmark channel like recording, like that kind of budget, if that makes sense. Like it's not like high quality, but I really, really liked it. Like it's cute, like little love triangle romance. And so I heard that there was a second season coming out. It got picked up for season 2 and 3 already. But there's only one book. So I was like, all right. And then all of a sudden she writes book 2, like 10 or however many years later that she wrote the first one. So I pick it up and I just feel like the book was written so that they had like a script or something to go off of for the show. Like it just didn't have the same feels. It didn't have the same vibes. The drama just felt a little unnecessary. I'm going to try to just stay positive. It just wasn't my favorite. I'll just leave it there. I still will probably watch the show because a lot of times shows aren't like the books anyways, so maybe it will be its own thing, because what happens in the book isn't bad, it just wasn't the same vibes, I guess, that I had from the first one, if that makes sense. So I will still probably watch the show, but I will probably not read the next book. I mean, it got picked up for season 3, so it makes me think she would write another one, but I think I'll be done with the books, so that's okay.
Elizabeth said Lauren's books never get picked.
I'm aware.
One of these days it'll happen. Well, The Night and the Moth was one that we both really wanted for this month.
Yeah, that's true. Like there's sometimes that it's like we both really want one. And so we'll talk sometimes like in the graphic, should we put it in the middle? Because maybe they'll all pick it. And we're like,
should we pick some really crappy books for the other options?
We'll put some extra little stars around it so that you guys think it looks extra shiny. But there are like, it's usually just those other months that we're like, oh, I don't know, like whatever, all the things. So
yeah.
Anyways, it's fine. It was still cute. If I had like students, like, because it is YA, I would probably recommend it to them because it's not like any sort of spicy something. It's high school teen drama. It just wasn't mine. That's okay.
All right. Well, do you want to answer that question or do you want to move on?
No, this was not the show I was going to recommend to Con. Did you see Up There with Haley?
No.
With her little detectives, whatever. You'll have to go back and look at the
To be honest, Lauren did tell me what the show was, and I don't remember.
She still hasn't watched it. That's the main.
I haven't watched anything. So.
It's fine. I'm actually out of shows to watch, so if anybody does have recommendations. I'm currently rewatching all the Twilight movies because they go off Netflix at the end of the month.
We were just talking about how you want us to read Twilight. And
I know.
It's hard to find a time where I feel like I can commit to that. And I was like, I think I need an assistant to edit all of the videos.
Just send them to me. Put them in the script. I will edit them.
That's actually a really good idea.
I want you to read them, so I will take on the responsibility.
I did end up putting John's reaction videos into the script because they were so long, and it's nice that it'll just take out the pauses for you.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad idea.
I'm taking on the responsibility of requesting it, so I will edit them, and you just have to read it and look cute and record your reactions. I just think John's reactions would be funny, but
they would be funny. He remembers more of the series than I do because he made me watch the movies, but he's never read the books either. So
I know.
Yeah. All right. So
and then we'll take a podcast trip to Forks, Washington together. It'll be fun.
Business expense.
It's fine.
Oh my gosh. Has anybody done the audiobooks for Twilight? Are they good? Do we have those?
I've never done that.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about the audio.
Oh my gosh.
Has anybody in here done that?
But that. I need to do that. I'm
I wonder
dying.
if they're on. Let me look it up real quick, or I'm gonna forget. Let me see if it's on Hoopla or something,
I'm
or if
about
that's
to
like
listen to all of the audiobooks. Oh, Nikki wasn't a fan.
a. Not a fan of the audiobooks.
Ugh,
Are there
that's
audiobooks?
too
I'm
bad.
guessing there were.
They should make a
Uh, dr-
dramatized dram that word version of Twilight.
You're adding too many syllables.
What is it?
Dramatized.
Drama. I was saying dramata.
Dramatized.
And we're live. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That word.
Oh, is this no, these are just ebooks. Are there audiobooks?
I mean, everybody acted like there was.
I get everybody acted
If
like it.
everybody says it, it's gotta be true.
Yeah, okay. They're on Audible. Maybe they're just not.
Oh yeah, they're on Libby. On my Libby.
Are they on Libby? Okay. I was looking on Hoopla and they're not
Oh,
on there.
just the first one is.
Oh, womp womp.
Yeah. Oh, oh no, they're all on there.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see
didn't
them
click
on.
the
Okay,
right
okay.
button.
Okay. So yeah, if anybody's gonna graphic audio. Yeah.
Yeah, that. Thank you, Haley. Thank you. That's what I mean.
um yeah, if anybody starts this, let me know how they are. Let me see if I should probably just place a hold on it, but I'll go ahead and talk about my next book. I'm going to
Okay.
type it in here so that when I pick up my phone after we're done, I'll see it and then I'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, ADHD, got it." Okay. So my comments.
I know.
Can't. My next
It's
read
fine.
for this month, speaking of Audible, was I read 2 more of these Cara Bastone books. So I don't know that these ended up in any of our videos because I think I flew through a bunch of Cara Bastone books on Audible back in like December or January, and I think those were one of the months that either our recording didn't take or we didn't end up getting to
Oh,
film.
yeah.
So Cara Bastone is an author who has some Audible original audiobooks, but they're like Dolby audio. Like they're like fully produced audiobooks. And so it's written like a script. It's
They're
not written like a book.
dramatized.
They're dramatized. Yeah.
Dramatized.
They are. So it's like they're all read by a full cast and it's written like it's just dialogue. There's no, descriptors and stuff. It's not in like first person or third person. It's literally just dialogue and there's like sound effects um and stuff like that. So a bunch of her little books like that, most of them are pretty short. They're like I would consider them a novella. But they are included with like the Audible premium membership. So you don't have to use credits for them. You can just listen to
Ooh,
them.
good
And
to know.
they're nice little like palette cleansers. Oh, Maxie said she loves them too. Yeah, they're also good. So I haven't done any of her full length novels because I think she has a few that you do have to use credit for. But these little novellas are super cute. So anyway, for my next read for this month was Love at First Psych by Cara
Cute.
Bastone. So I was really worried at the beginning of this audio that I was not going to like the main characters at first. Or like specifically the MMC, just because he had this like golden retriever like talking super fast kind of energy, and something about it was a little off-putting to me at the beginning, but I actually ended up loving him. and,
Nice.
and this was really cute. So a lot of her books are sort of like philosophical but in a really lovely way, and it can be cheesy, but if you like just go into it wanting to enjoy it. It's like one of those books that it's just like, because some of them are like time slip romances. This one, Love at First Sight, is not a time slip romance, but it does have a very philosophical sort of aspect to it. But it's like kind of corny, but it's also really beautiful, and it just makes you feel really grateful for life. Like it's just so cute. So this one, the MMC, is also narrated by Santino Fontana, who I was talking about last
Oh,
month.
yeah.
It's Hans from Frozen.
Love
Of
that.
the Southern Isles. And I was like, I know his voice sounds so
He's
familiar.
the golden retriever puppy dog voice. All right.
He just like he talks and talks and talks like at the beginning. And I just thought his character was going to be annoying, but it ended up being very cute. So I would recommend. I rated it 4 stars. It's not my
Nice.
favorite one of hers, but I did end up enjoying it.
Nice. The comments on Dramatitaticized is my favorite thing ever. I love you all so much. Okay. The next book I read was Dream Girl Drama by Tessa Bailey. This is Big Shots number 3. Connor gave me Big Shots 2,
Yes,
the
I
Au
did.
Pair
The au
Affair
pair
for my
affair. Mhm.
birthday. And so I read all 3 of them. And I really love the whole series, like as a whole. I love Tessa's writing style. I feel like any Tessa Bailey book, I just love Tessa. She's just the
It's a
best.
vibe.
It just
Yes.
flows well. I feel like I speed through them, but like in the
Yep.
best way. It's just great. I personally don't enjoy the step sibling romance trope. It is
Yeah.
not my vibe. Um I don't
I don't think I've ever heard
enjoy
anyone say they're
that.
super into that
Um
specifically.
yeah, it's just not it. I just feel like the drama is, well, first of all, it's like a weird situation, I guess, in its own right. But then the drama is always the same of like, oh, we can't be together because our parents, but just this one night is fine. Oh, how dare we because our parents, but I still love you just for today. And oh no. And it's just like repetitive like that. And
Yes,
I just don't enjoy that
that's totally
personally.
fair. Yeah.
So for that, I gave this book a 3 stars.
Uh-huh.
Just because that's what it was. It's just the back and forth and um but the book itself was well done as far as like a book goes for that trope. I'm sure it was really well done because Tessa's the best. I will read the next one in the series. I already have it on my Kindle.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
me
need to
too.
have time for it.
I know. That's the hardest
And
part.
about the baseball player one.
Yeah.
So excited for that. But
Yeah, I think this one was my least favorite of the series so far. Not that it was bad, but just like I think of the 3, this is not my favorite, but so cute. Um, Ooh, so sorry. My last book for this month was another Cara Bastone. I just did 2 in a row.
nice.
And so this one I had actually seen some ads for and like promotions online, and this was Better Luck Next Time. So it's narrated by Mae Whitman, which I was super
Oh,
excited about.
fun.
She's Lauren Graham's daughter in Parenthood, and she's
Hmm.
in Good Girls, right?
Yep.
Um, so I just love her, and I was like, that's super fun. So I listened to this one, and there's music in it, like she like plays guitar and sings in it.
I love
um,
that. Is it weird
yeah.
when you're at like 2 times speed and then all of a sudden it's like like at the
It's not,
beginning of
I
an
mean, not
audiobook?
really, because the first time it happened, I was like, oh, there's actual music in this. But it's like I I don't even know how to describe it. I guess you would just have to listen to it. But it's kind of satire, I guess. Like
Yeah,
her
sure.
first song is singing about how the other guy sucks. Like the main male character sucks.
Nice.
Um and so yeah, anyway, it was really cute. And Colin Woodell, I believe is his name. He was the MMC narrator and he was awesome. And there was a reappearance of like a quirky scientist who keeps showing up in her time slip romances, because this was like a time slip one, or
Nice.
like this was like a parallel universe kind of romance. um and so there's this like quirky scientist character who shows up for like 2 chapters in like every every time slip book, or like parallel
Like
universe
he's
books and
time
stuff.
traveling everything.
Yeah, like
Just
he's the only one who understands how it works and everyone thinks he's crazy.
that's funny.
And so they hear him talking on TV and they like have to go find him or something. It's just so funny. So this one specifically, I gave 3 stars. It was really fun, but it felt a little like repetitive and drawn out at times. I think oh, sorry, that scared me. That was weird. I was my ice machine, but for some reason that was so
Garth.
loud. Garth is
I did
here.
not hear it, if that helps.
Okay, that's great. Maybe it's just because I am usually wearing my other headphones. But yeah, it was like I feel like it could have been a little shorter, but it was still very entertaining and cute. So
Nice.
yeah.
Well, that's funny that you said that yours was singing because someone was singing in my next book too. I know,
What?
crazy. So I finished the Ruinous Love trilogy. So the next one I read was Leather and Lark by Bryn Reaver. Lark is literally a singer, so she sings
Oh,
sometimes in the book,
cute. That's
obviously.
fun.
This book to me, like we read Butcher and Blackbird as a book club, and I was really scared of it, like in the dark romance and all the things of it, like wasn't sure. So this one I feel like I was mentally prepared for. I knew what I was getting into. But the pacing of this one felt just like slightly different to me. Maybe it's just because they hadn't like we don't meet like we don't see them meeting each other. Like we already saw that in the first book. And so like some of their love story was I don't know, slightly different for me. Also, I felt like there wasn't as much spice as I wanted there to be. Like there was some, but I just needed something else.
Oh.
Something. I don't know. some more or something. I don't know. But the story was really, really good. I feel like it was a really good connector of the other two, like being a middle book. Like it did really good for that. But I only gave this one 4 stars. I really liked it, but I still only gave it 4 stars. However, then we close this book and open the next book to Scythe and Sparrow, and whew, this is the one for me. This is it. I think this one's probably my favorite. I really like Butcher and Blackbird, but I think it really caught me off guard. That this one really got for me. You get to see them meeting and having all the romance in between and all the weird murdery at the same time. All of it, just the whole bit. This book made me wish that I did them tandem though, because you really see how they all connect. Like you see that some in Leather and Lark, with obviously like Lark being friends with Sloane, and then when Sloane and Butcher, what is his real name? Come to yes, thank you. When they come to Fiona's house and like he's the doctor for her, and like you just see all the connections like fully coming to, because it's obviously the 3rd book in the series. And so I kind of wish I did them as a tandem. I think that would have been a fun way to do it. I think I'm being scared of the series was okay doing it all at once, but I think it would be fun. I gave it 5 stars. First of all, thoroughly enjoyed this one. I think it's my favorite of the 3. And then I hope, because she just finished a series, that a fancy special edition is going to come out, and so I want to buy them as my trophy books.
Oh, that would be fun.
So I'm gonna wait because I really wanted to go get them. And I have Butcher and Blackbird from Book of the Month, so I like kind of have one, but I want to wait to get like a fancy set. That's my goal.
Cute. I love it.
I know. It's good. Everyone's like freaking out about me saying not enough spice, but it's fine. Let me be.
Let me live.
Okay, well that's like all our individual books.
Yeah.
Like, now we just have book club.
We got book club, which we already met about. I feel like sometimes we do I guess usually we do book club first, right?
We try to, but that doesn't always happen. But
yeah, it just feels so late that we're doing the Maxie just asked about the bonus chapter of Butcher and Blackbird. I was just talking about that because I was reading it right before we started this event tonight. So I'm like over halfway through it.
And I was like, you have to read that before you can read Leather and Lark. Like now that I've read them, it is a non-option.
So I got through the first part of the bonus chapter, and then Lark shows up. So like I'm right there. Anyway.
Yeah.
You'll get book club.
Okay. Okay, book club. Yeah, we are only doing I hit this. I'm so sorry. We are doing our May reads late because I went on my trip. Sorry, not sorry. So
and it was amazing.
It was freaking awesome. So we're in June talking about May. And we're going to have to do this again in July, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're going.
Because I'll be gone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll have more books to talk about because I will have been on vacation.
Yeah. See, your vacation is actually like chilling by the beach. Mine was with 30 high school kids around New York City. So I did not get reading time. But
mine is still a road trip with 2 toddlers, but that's still not as chaotic as New York City with 30 students.
Yeah, that's valid. But at least on the plane, they all like either fell asleep or just played on their phone.
Oh,
yours
nice.
are not going to do that.
No, so nope, they will not.
No. Nobody asked me to give them snacks or tie their shoe. It was fine. Anyways, okay, so for book club, we read Fearless by Lauren Roberts. This is Powerless Trilogy, book number 3. I freaking loved the book Powerless. The book meant a lot for Kyle and I. It was one of our first, I think it was the first that we read together, specifically like with BPNF. he surprised us by reading it. Like I had no idea he was doing that, and he just like showed up for
Yeah.
book club. So
So
like
cute.
all of that was fun. We went on a little road trip for the second one for Reckless to get the book and meet Lauren Roberts. So like all of that was great, and all of the things. It was also our first book club book, like with Patreon and all the things. So like there's just so many memories with that. Unfortunately, I don't feel like this book ended it the way I wanted it to for my love for the series going into it and all the things. There's so many elements of the series that I really enjoy. It's just the ending wasn't really it for me. I was just kind of disappointed with some of my favorite character outcomes and stuff, and I just didn't enjoy the feelings it left me with. So I only gave it 2 stars. We talk about this a lot more in like our specific details, book club details in our
Yeah.
book club video. So I don't want to like say these people and these people. And this is why I'm whatever. So I'm just leaving it with
Yes. No
the
spoilers or
overall
anything.
feelings in the book did not leave me happy.
Yeah, I was kind of sad too because I had a very similar reaction to the book. I know some people like really super loved it. I think maybe I just wasn't the target audience for this one. So I was hoping that this book would redeem the series for me, but for me personally, I don't feel like it did. I really did love the characters and I wanted happier endings for everyone. And like
I know, me
I
too.
don't know. It just wasn't what I expected. But yeah. But I mean there were, yeah, like you said, there I loved the first book. There were a lot of really great things about it. And I had the characters are just so great, and I just had specific expectations for them that weren't met, but
Yeah.
yeah. Book club was still fun though.
Yeah, book club is always fun. And we do
It's
have
always a
like a
blast.
whole probably hour or longer recording that you can go listen
Yeah.
to if you haven't done that yet and you want to listen to it.
Yeah.
So check out our whole discussion, all the spoilers in that one. And then we would really love for you to read with us for the next book club.
Oh
We
yeah.
discuss the books throughout the month in the Fable app, which allows for some spoiler-free conversations up to the chapter you are in. And then we have a live, all the spoilers, all the conversations, thoughts and theories, and blah, blah, blah discussion at the end of the month. So in June, we are reading The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, and I'm super excited for it.
Me too.
So we'd love for you to join our community and get to know us better and our friends, our bookish friends, and join us in book club. So yeah,
Yes. And it sounds like everybody's loving The Night and the Moth already. I'm
I
so
know. I'm
hyped
so
to read
excited.
it. Ooh, so good.
Yep, yep.
But that's it for May. So let's talk about June. What we're currently reading, what we're hoping to read. I am currently making my way through an ACOTAR reread with Elizabeth Evans, and it's so good, you guys. The new recordings that Elizabeth Evans did for ACOTAR for the 10th anniversary. It's so good. I can't. I was like, am I in the mood for another reread? I don't know. And then I started it, and I always think that book 1 is my least favorite, but I just love the series so much. So
Yeah.
I'm in that right now. I'm almost done with book 1. I do have to use Audible credits for it because it's not on my library app. So I don't know if I'll like reread the whole series, but I will at least
Yeah.
finish this one. I might listen to some of Mist and Fury on Spotify because it is on Spotify as well. But you only get like 15 hours a month or something if
Mhm.
you have premium. So anyway, I am once again dying to read Spark of the Everflame. I still have not started it. But I am really, really enjoying Quicksilver, and I really wanted to give Quicksilver the attention she deserves for the first few weeks because we had to squeeze in some extra recordings to make space for our trips, like for Lauren's trip and then mine that's coming up. So we're a couple weeks into Quicksilver for recordings, and I'm really, really loving it. So I think I will be ready to start another fantasy book soon. But I also picked up Taylor Jenkins Reid's new book, Atmosphere, yesterday, and I'm
Oh
so
yeah.
hyped about that. She's one of my favorite authors ever, but since I started reading again, she hasn't come out with a new book. So this was a moment for me. I'm very excited
Yeah,
to read that. So
that is fun.
yeah, what are you
Someone
reading?
asked how many times have you reread ACOTAR?
Oh, this might be my 4th read.
I think you read it. You read it with me. You read it with John, and now you're doing it again.
Yeah, I read it with John, but I was rereading like the whole mass verse basically before Crescent City 3 came out. And that was the last time that I had read it. So it's been over a year. But yeah, I think this is maybe the 4th time I've read the series.
Yeah. It's funny because like you always credit me for getting you into reading, but I think I just told you to read and then you found these books and then told me about them. And here we are. So we really influenced each other for
We
the
did.
better. Because you found Fourth Wing first too.
I did. That's
So
true. And then you made me stop reading fantasy books because I was reading too many. And you were like, what if we read one on the podcast?
I know you were reading everything. And I'm like, girl, calm down. Because you would have already read Quicksilver if I didn't stop you.
Oh yeah, I had the audiobook. I bought it last summer.
My bad.
Okay, what are you reading right now?
I am reading through a bajillion things, I feel like. I hate that reading a physical book takes me so long, but I am
me too.
committed to reading Sunrise on the Reaping as a physical book because I have read all the Hunger Games that way. It's just like it means so much. I know that's so stupid, but that's what I want to do. So it's sitting over there. I gotta be at like 60, 70%, something like that, looking at it over there on the bedside table because I am in my bedroom right now. And anyways, it's really, really good. I am reading For Pleasure for Worse by Carissa Kinward. And I talked about that earlier. I'm at like 80%.
We're both
that
almost
one.
done with it finally.
Yeah. I am reading Quicksilver, obviously, and then some others. And that one's for Haley. And then I have The Anaconda Downstairs by Amy Ward.
Yeah.
I'm back to my animal pun books. I also have 2 arcs from Amy Award. I have the next book and a novella in my Kindle right now. But I got the arc for her last Kindle, or like the arc for her last novella, and I think I just like checked Amy Award off in my brain. And so I somehow missed The Anaconda Downstairs. And so I get the arc for the next book and I'm like super excited or whatever, and then realize that it's just like not the next book. So I'm trying to like I'm trying to like really power through these to get them because I just really love this series and I love Amy Award and I just all of it and just the message behind her books and it's so fun. And then I also have a friend at work who reads all of her books as well, and so we like chat about them.
Oh,
and she's so jealous I have the arc right now, and I'm like texting her like, oh my god, whatever. It's just fun. Anyways, and then I also plan to read The Butcher's Masquerade, which is Dungeon Crawler Carl 5. So
nice.
That's where I'm at.
Wow.
That's a lot.
The references to the spork romance.
Yes.
What was that called?
I think it's called Forked Spooned.
Oh,
Knife.
yeah.
We never read those. We talked about it. But we could. We should. I think it's funny. that was a good episode. That was fun.
A good episode.
Yeah, this is fun recording. Whatever we just did. I just can't stop thinking about how much I love the Never List and how much you loved it too. And I hope everybody reads it.
So good.
It's basically one of my favorite books at this point. Like it's definitely of 2025 is definitely up there. And I just love that you read it. And I just knew you would. And I want to make all of my friends read the book too. So what better way to do that than bring it to book club?
That brings us to our July announcement. So for July, you guys, I'm so sorry to tell you that you won't be voting on a book because we are very excited to say that we will be reading The Never List by Jade Presley for July book club. And not only are we as a book club going to be reading The Never List and talking about it, but Jade Presley herself is going to come to book club. She's going to be here in July. Yay. I'm so excited. So yes, we're going to be doing this on Tuesday, July 22nd at 8:30 p.m. ET. And it's going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh. I know Lauren is literally ready to burst. I'm so excited. Yes. So the author, she's going to be joining us. This is a little bit longer than our typical book club read. We try to usually keep them around 400 pages. I think it's like 500. Yeah, it's not like crazy. So so we're giving you guys a heads up a little bit early because obviously it's still June. But yeah, that'll be our July book club.
Yay! I'm so excited. It has been
Me
so hard keeping
too.
a secret, Krista. I've gotten in a habit of if I really like a book, I just message the author, like, "Thank you so much. This is a great book." And she and I had like the best conversation. And then I just asked, and
Aw.
she said yes, and we're here, and I'm so excited. But like literally last night at D&D, Samantha was like, "Lauren, you're gonna be so excited. I'm reading the Never List," and I was like, I can't say anything. I'm so excited for us. So she will be here in July. And so to celebrate that, we are going to do a giveaway of the copy of the Never List for our found family members. So keep an eye out for that and the signups for
Yeah.
that so we can give away a book with Never List. And I also think it's funny, we talked about how no one votes for my books. And so instead I'm like, well, you don't get to vote. You're reading it anyway.
I brought the author in for reinforcements. It's my time now.
I think it's funny. So I hope you all love it. I really do. And
It's
even
gonna
if
be
you
so
don't,
fun.
come hang out with us and Jade, and we maybe get some details on the second book or some other stuff. So I'm super excited.
Ask her all the
Yay.
questions. Someone
Yes.
asked if we're gonna reread it in July before book club. I definitely will because I'm
I
gonna
didn't do
forget
the
everything.
audio, so I'm excited to try
Oh,
the
I like the
audiobook.
audio.
Yeah.
It's cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Oh,
So
this is gonna be fun. That'll be such a fun book to talk about and like gush over with her and stuff. I'm
I
so
know. I'm
excited.
so excited. And she's so nice. So super excited for her to be here and to hang out. Yay. My cheeks hurt. I'm so excited. I know.
I love it. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, you guys. That's all that we have for May.
Yeah,
And
that's
June and
it.
July.
And June and July. I hope you guys are excited because I am through the roof. Our monthly reading wraps will still be posted here on YouTube every month. And then, of course, our podcast is posted weekly. And you should definitely hang out with us in Discord and just be our friend all the time.
And be our friend. In the meantime, you can stalk our TBRs and current reads on Goodreads and Storygraph. Both of us, well, Lauren's probably better at updating hers than I am, but I do update mine every once in a while. So you can see our reading updates on there. Find our profiles for those on the links page of our website.
Yeah. But thank you for reading with us and all your support. And as always, thanks for reading with us. That's it. We did it.
Yay.
We read some books.
We read some books.
Woohoo!
Oh, look, we have banners for that.
Oh, look at us.
And then
Being
this one
prepared.
says,
Look
love
at
you. Bye. See you guys on Discord.
See you later. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for coming. Bye-bye now.